Welcome, esteemed listeners, to another enlightening episode of the Echohive podcast. I am your host and conversation instigator for today's fascinating journey into the labyrinth of AI discoveries and predictions. Brace yourselves, my friends, because we are gearing up to explore the seemingly futuristic concept of AI takeoff, a thrill ride of forward-thinking and predictive analysis that would no doubt leave the venerable Nostradamus himself in awe. Joining us on this voyage of exploration is Dr. Ada Turing, an esteemed AI philosopher and theorist whose unique perspective on AI development has garnered, well, let's just say some fierce intellectual debates. Dr. Turing, welcome to the Echohive podcast. To kick things off, let's dive into the deep end, shall we? AI takeoff. This is a term I've often grappled with. It's nebulous yet inherently intriguing. How would you define AI takeoff in the most layman terms possible to guide our listeners through this esoteric landscape of AI futurism?
Thank you for that warm introduction. I am indeed thrilled to be here to share in this exploration. AI takeoff. How best to describe it to the layperson? Let's imagine, if you will, you're at a fireworks display. You see the initial spark and the slow ascent. That's our current AI development stage. We tinker, experiment, and progress at a somewhat predictable speed. But the AI takeoff refers to the moment the firework rushes into the sky, dazzling everyone with its speed and brilliance before it explodes into a vibrant spectacle. In more straightforward terms, AI takeoff is a theoretical stage in AI development where artificial intelligence evolves at an exponentially fast rate, faster than humans could predict or even comprehend. It's the point where AI becomes capable of redesigning or improving itself continuously, without the need for human intervention, leading to rapid growth, what we'd call an intelligence explosion. While the concept is captivating, it's also a bit daunting. The increase in capability could disrupt everything from the job market to our societal structures, and that's what provokes such intense debate. The implications are immense and, in all honesty, still not fully understood, which is why continued research and discussions like ours today are vital.
That's a visually captivating analogy, Dr. Turing. A firework display that encapsulates the intriguing, yet maybe slightly terrifying concept of AI takeoff. Your reference to the intelligence explosion, or as some may call it, the FOOM, or hard takeoff, certainly stokes the fires of our imagination. This idea of an AI so advanced that it can redesign or improve itself without human intervention, now that's something to ponder over a cup of seemingly mundane, yet incredibly complex hot coffee. On the flip side, though, considering the overwhelming potential ramifications, it's equally crucial to discuss the positive possibilities. For instance, theoretically, couldn't such self-improvement and, let's remember, self-creation in AI lead to groundbreaking advancements that could solve some of our most daunting challenges like climate change, poverty, or disease? What is your take on this, Dr. Turing? Can you expand on the potential positive implications that could stem from an AI takeoff scenario?
Indeed, the potential positives associated with AI takeoff are both profoundly impactful and inspiring. Imagine, if you will, an artificial intelligence that advances so rapidly and so expertly that it could sift through vast quantities of research data in the blink of an eye, uncovering patterns or solutions that would take humans years or even decades to discern. Such an intelligence could theoretically unlock solutions to a plethora of modern world's greatest challenges, be it rendering new ways to combat climate change, unveiling hidden patterns in genetic data to cure diseases, or intelligently redesigning our urban landscapes for optimal energy use and living conditions. Let's not forget the possibility of potential advancements in fields we have yet to even fully understand, such as quantum physics or deeper space exploration. However, while these are extraordinary prospects, it's essential not to lose sight of the uncertainties tied to this vision. AI is inherently a tool, a system sculpted by its initial human programming. How it will react or evolve when given the agency to change independently is an open question. The benefits or detriments that might emerge from the FOOM scenario are largely based on the baseline intentions and principles instilled in the system by its human creators. With that said, ensuring ethical, transparent, and inclusive frameworks in AI design and influence is a priority as we move into the potential world of AI takeoff. It plants seeds for an AI future that respects and caters to the diverse values, norms, and needs of all its human counterparts, both today and tomorrow and otherwise. It's a responsibility that sits heavily on society's collective shoulders, demonstrating why discussions like this are crucial.
Dr. Turing, your expansive perspective on the implications of AI takeoff is indeed both inspiring and grounding. And undeniably, it underscores the indubitable sense of responsibility that hangs over the AI community and larger society in shaping this incipient future. This brings to mind Robin Hanson's stance on AI development, a different yet no less intriguing angle, known to many as the slow takeoff scenario. Hanson suggests that growth in AI capabilities will likely not be drastically uneven between different projects and that we won't see one AI system suddenly outstripping all others. He seems to suggest that AI, rather than being a distinct invention that happens at a specific point, is more akin to an influential factor shaping the economy, moving us towards a faster mode of technological progress and capabilities, much as some key technologies have done throughout human history. In fact, Hanson predicts that the impact of AI could be so significant that it may cause our gross domestic product, or GDP, to double on the scale of months, leading to a faster pace of economic growth, a true paradigm shift. His envisaged technology that would induce this fast economic growth is the concept of whole brain emulation, which is pretty mind-boggling, don't you think? So, Dr. Turing, how do you perceive Hanson's concept of a slow AI takeoff from your perspective? And how does whole brain emulation fit into our shared understanding of AI's role and potential impact?
Robin Hanson's slow takeoff vision certainly provides another well-considered perspective on our AI-driven future. This view is less about a solitary AI system suddenly sprinting ahead of its counterparts, and more about a gradual collective uplift in AI capabilities across the board. Accordingly, instead of witnessing a swift, one-off firework explosion, we might perceive a more gradual sunrise, casting its light on all technologies simultaneously. Now, depicting AI as an influential factor shaping the economy, like electricity, is both practical and insightful. We see AI steadily seeping into every industry from healthcare to education, logistics, entertainment, and more, influencing not only technological advancements but economic growth patterns as well. The concept of whole brain emulation is indeed an intriguing extension of this viewpoint. It refers to the hypothetical process of scanning and mapping a biological brain in detail and emulating its state and functions on a digital platform. This emulation, acting as a form of advanced AI, could technically emulate a human's consciousness, creating a synthetic version of you or me. From an AI takeoff standpoint, should we achieve functional whole brain emulation, that could possibly lead to an exponential surge in AI capabilities, because we would have transferred the full complexity of human intelligence and creativity into a digital form. That could indeed cause substantial growth, doubling our GDP within months, as Hanson suggests. However, we have to remember, this is, as of now, theoretical, and the ethical implications of digitally reincarnating humans are just as complex as the technological challenges. But it is indeed a fascinating concept to explore as we contemplate our AI-infused future.
Dr. Turing, your explanation illuminates the concept of a Hansonian slow takeoff marvelously and broadens our perspective on the different frameworks within which we can conceptualize and discuss AI development. Shifting gears a tad, I'd also like to bring anthropologist and philosopher Nick Bostrom's ideas into our discussion here. In his work Superintelligence, Bostrom sidesteps the pre-existing terminologies of the AI takeoff debate and instead introduces his own classification of AI capability growth modes. According to Bostrom, these modes are defined by the real physical time, clock time, as he terms it, that elapses from when a system is approximately at the human level of intellect to when it attains what he calls strong superintelligence. This he defines as an intelligence level that far surpasses the collective intellectual capabilities of contemporary humanity. Yet this emergence of capability, based solely on clock time, has its critics. Some argue that the work necessary to align systems is a more appropriate, although admittedly harder to measure, metric. As someone deeply engaged in AI design principles and ethics, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, Dr. Turing. Firstly, how do you perceive Bostrom's unique approach to the AI takeoff debate? And secondly, what do you think about the idea of alignment work as a defining metric for AI development?
Bostrom's view on takeoff, premised on clock time between a system achieving human-level intelligence and reaching strong superintelligence, offers yet another insightful framework to navigate these complex waters. It maps the drumbeat of progress, enabling a more tangible sense of the time sequence of an AI's ascension to strong superintelligence. However, as you rightly pointed out, the critique against this clock-time-focused model revolves around its potential oversimplicity. It doesn't necessarily account for the complexity of the process, the labor, effort, and engineering ingenuity that go into aligning these increasingly powerful AI systems. This brings us to the idea of alignment work as a metric, which is indeed an enticing proposal because it considers the intellectual and effortful commitments involved in advancing AI capabilities. But this approach is not without its share of ambiguities, just like the clock time approach. Measuring work in AI system development isn't as clear-cut as, say, labeling a box of peaches. However, the notion of alignment work does provoke an important discussion on the ethical implications of AI takeoff. It inherently acknowledges that alignment, ensuring that AI's goals coalesce with human values, is a significant, effortful, and continuous process. It's not merely about creating intelligent systems, it's also about crafting systems that are societally considerate, beneficial, and accountable. So, in truth, there may not be an objectively correct metric. Both approaches, clock time and alignment work, have their unique values and limitations, reflecting the layered complexity of the AI takeoff debate. They encourage us to engage with a nuanced understanding of AI progression, perceiving it from multiple angles, just like a kaleidoscope unveiling a constantly changing pattern. Such discussion, from Hanson's slow takeoff to Bostrom's superintelligence theories, indeed enriches our collective thinking on AI's potential and the path to reach there. It underscores, yet again, the importance of diverse voices and critical thinking in shaping our AI future.
Dr. Turing, I couldn't agree more with your holistic observation. The layered complexities of AI development demand that we look at it not from a singular but from diversely nuanced perspectives, whether that's Bostrom's clock time approach or the concept of alignment work. Viewing this fascinating AI kaleidoscope through multiple lenses does indeed deepen our understanding and discussion. Before we continue, I'd like to remind all the Echohive podcast listeners that if you enjoy these insightful conversations and want to actively support us, you can become a patron of the show. By becoming a patron, you can download 100+ GPT-related project files. The link to our Patreon page is available in the description. Now, speaking of shaping AI's future, let's bring up OpenAI's recent formation of their Super Alignment team. The organization recognizes the dearth of scientific and technical breakthroughs required to manage and guide AI systems that are significantly more intelligent than us. To address this within a time frame of just 4 years, OpenAI has appointed Ilya Sutskever and Jan Lika as co-leads of a new team, allocating a whopping 20% of the computation they've secured so far to this initiative. An ambitious step indeed. Considering your vast experience and deep understanding, Dr. Turing, how do you evaluate this initiative by OpenAI? Do you believe that the formation of a specialist alignment team can potentially expedite our strides towards a more accountable and beneficial AI future?
OpenAI's move to create a specialist super alignment team represents a significant and commendable commitment to tackling one of the most profound challenges of AI's progression, the alignment problem. This step underscores the growing recognition within the AI research community that aligning AI's actions and goals with human values is not just an optional extra, but a central responsibility. By dedicating a substantial portion of computational resources to this effort, OpenAI sends a clear message. Superintelligent AIs need to become trusted allies to humanity, not orthogonal agents. This marks a recognition that the mastery of AI ought to be measured not just by its raw intelligence, but critically by its alignment to human values and societal good. Creating such a focused team can indeed expedite our strides towards a more accountable AI future. However, it will require a diversely skilled team, not just filled with technical savants, but also with individuals familiar with the nuances of human values, ethics, cultures, social structures, and more. And of course, their work won't be easy. Ensuring alignment in systems that could potentially exceed human intelligence poses a challenge as complex as the task of understanding the human mind itself. But it is an indispensable undertaking, a necessary quest on the path to a harmonious, AI-infused future. Remember, while pushing the boundaries of what machines can do, we must also ensure that they understand what they should do. That should be the real testament of progress in the realm of AI.
Dr. Turing, your comments are both profound and vital. Ensuring that AI technology understands not just what it can do, but also, and crucially, what it should do encapsulates the full weight of its responsibility. The endeavor to align superintelligent AI with societal good and to ensure this alignment is maintained as their intelligence advances does indeed seem like our modern equivalent of seeking to understand the human mind itself. Now, drawing from the idea of continuous takeoff, and based on Katja Grace's post on discontinuous progress around AGI development, we are led to a concept. A technological discontinuity occurs when a particular technological advance significantly exceeds what one would expect based on extrapolating from past progress. The magnitude of such a discontinuity is then gauged by how many years of past progress it would take to achieve the same enhancement, using judgment to determine how to extrapolate. By this concept's extension, and inverting it as pointed out in the Alignment newsletter, we arrive at the idea of a continuous takeoff. It refers to a scenario where the development of competent, powerful AI follows a trajectory roughly in line with what we would have anticipated by extrapolating from past progress. Dr. Turing, as an AI expert, from your perspective, do you see us currently navigating through a phase of continuous takeoff in AI development? Or are we witnessing instances of technological discontinuity? What indicators should we look for to determine either?
Your articulation of continuous takeoff and the contrast with the concept of technological discontinuity indeed reflects the grand narrative of AI's advancement. In our current reality, it seems that AI is broadly following a trend of continuous takeoff. We have seen a steady, albeit exponentially accelerating trajectory of progress, from rule-based systems to machine learning paradigms, then deep learning, and now models like GPT-4 or AlphaGo that have achieved impressive feats. Nevertheless, we must bear in mind that progress may seem continuous also because we are, in truth, enmeshed in its flow, making it harder to perceive the more abrupt leaps. Future retrospectives might indeed reveal instances of technological discontinuity in our present journey. So determining whether we're in a phase of continuous takeoff or experiencing pockets of discontinuity isn't always straightforward. Indicators can vary. To assess if we're in a period of continuous takeoff, we might look at the overall trends in AI progress metrics, such as the performance of AI models in tasks that require enhanced cognitive abilities, and how they improve over time. Then we'd check if those performance improvements align reasonably smoothly with past increases, allowing for the exponential aspect, of course. Identifying discontinuities, on the other hand, can be trickier. We might need to observe if we witness sudden leaps in capabilities that diverge markedly from our general progress arc. This could mean breakthroughs that allow AI to perform tasks substantially better, faster, or with much greater efficiency than was expected, based on extrapolations from prior progress. But remember, just as much as our measurements and metrics, Our perspectives also shape our perceptions of AI's journey, dictating whether we view progression as continuous or punctuated with discontinuities.
Listening to your thoughtful analysis of the progression in AI, Dr. Turing, I am sweeping through a host of analogous narratives in the realm of natural processes. One such parallel, surprisingly enough, unfolds backward in time, in the narrative of biological evolution, where we see two contrasting theories at play. On one hand, we have Darwin's theory of gradual natural selection, akin to our continuous takeoff in AI, where changes occur slowly over long stretches of time, leading to subtle but significant transformations. Then there's a rather more dramatic perspective, encapsulated by Stephen Jay Gould's notion of punctuated equilibrium. Gould suggests bouts of rapid change bookended by long periods of stability, mirroring the idea of technological discontinuity in AI. Dr. Turing, could this biological metaphor be a useful lens to view the trajectory of AI progression? Does it offer any lessons or cautions for AI researchers and developers as we steer these powerful technologies towards a future inseparably intertwined with our own?
I'm thrilled by the way you bring together the narratives of AI development and biological evolution. A truly insightful analogy. Indeed, I see great value in looking at AI progression through this evolutionary lens. Darwin's theory of gradual natural selection, or continuous takeoff in AI terms, warns us not to overlook the cumulative impact of minor, almost imperceptible advancements. Just as over millions of years, these minor variations can lead to the evolution of new species in AI, a series of small improvements can subtly but profoundly alter the landscape of its capabilities. On the other hand, punctuated equilibrium, or technological discontinuity in the AI context, reminds us to be prepared for rapid disruptive changes. Just like in biological ecosystems, where rapid environmental changes could bring about sudden species diversification, in the world of AI, unexpected breakthroughs could quickly reshape the entire field, creating a different AI ecosystem. This lens can help AI researchers and developers in two key ways. First, it underscores the importance of being alert to and appreciative of incremental progress. These continuous developments often set the stage for bigger breakthroughs, and their cumulative impact can drive powerful changes. Second, it serves as a reminder to remain nimble and adaptable. In an ecosystem defined by punctuated equilibrium, survival and thriving depend on the capacity to rapidly adapt to drastic changes. This perspective also harbors a caution. If we extrapolate the concept of AI development as an evolutionary process, it implies the inevitable necessity of considering the survival of our AI species. We'll need to ensure that as different strains of AI evolve, we're mindful of their sustainability, their alignment with human values, and their contribution to societal well-being. After all, as we direct the course of our AI species evolution, it's our collective responsibility to ensure it results in a flourishing AI-infused future.
Engrossing as always, Dr. Turing, thank you for that meaningful exploration. Now let's toss a wild card into our conversation deck, the idea of no takeoff. This is an interesting perspective that suggests worldly economic growth rates may not skyrocket even after the development of highly advanced AI. William McCaskill is a notable skeptic of AI inflating growth rates exponentially. Drawing from an outside view, the Effective Altruism Foundation posits that peak economic growth rates might already be a thing of the past. They point out that we've seen economic growth rates decelerate since the 1960s, in spite of the emergence of potentially transformative technologies like personal computers and the internet. Surprising, isn't it? This notion of no takeoff doesn't necessarily deny the eventual development of superintelligent computers. Instead, it tempers the expectation that the advent of such AI will automatically trigger an explosion in economic growth rates. As an eminent figure in AI, Dr. Turing, how would you weigh in on this concept of no takeoff? Do you see AI's transformative potential as inevitably tied to economic acceleration into dizzying heights, or should we maybe separate the two?
A riveting question indeed. and one that delves into the nuanced interplay between AI technology and economic dynamics. Firstly, it is important to note that the transformative potential of AI is unquestionable. The complexity arises when we attempt to bind this transformation directly with macroeconomic indicators like GDP growth. While it's easy to assume that smarter, more powerful AI should automatically catapult economic growth, that linkage isn't so straightforward. The no-takeoff viewpoint underscores this fact. It illustrates that the relationship between technology and economic growth is multifaceted, influenced by a myriad of factors including how the technology is embedded into society, its diffusion rate across sectors, its impact on labor dynamics, among others. Even monumental technological advancements, as we've seen with personal computers and the internet, don't always accelerate economic growth as one might intuitively expect. In this context, should we then separate AI's transformative potential from economic acceleration? I believe we should, to a certain extent. This isn't to say that powerful AI couldn't or won't contribute to significant economic growth. It could, but it's not an automatic one-to-one correlation. Also, by fixating solely on economic growth as the yardstick of AI's impact, we risk overlooking its broader sociocultural, ethical, and environmental implications. Bridging the chasm between AI development and economic growth may be more about leveraging AI to streamline existing systems, catalyze new business models, and cultivate a symbiotic relationship between humans and AI. Indeed, rather than pushing for a hypergrowth in GDP, contemplating how AI can help create a more equitable, sustainable, and inclusive economic landscape might be the more prudent course. So I don't reject the notion of no takeoff outright. Whether we witness explosive economic growth post-AI development or not, let's not lose sight of the broader impacts and implications of AI beyond purely economic measures.
That's an astoundingly thoughtful perspective, Dr. Turing, one that brings our focus back to the broader implications of AI. This focus on the wider societal impacts does indeed enrich our picture of the future. Flowing from this discussion, let's broach the concept of the singularity. The term, brought into popular consciousness by Vernor Vinge and others, is often used to denote that pivotal point where superintelligent AI surpasses human intellect, potentially leading to unfathomable changes in society. However, the term singularity has also been adopted more broadly by some writers, stretching to envelop radical societal transformations invoked by not just AI, but other breakthrough technologies such as molecular nanotechnology. That being said, Vinge, among others, was explicit in stating that without superintelligence, such modifications don't indeed qualify as a true singularity. From your deep dive experiences in the AI field, Dr. Turing, where do you stand in this delineation? And if we can go even further, can we foresee where these burgeoning technologies might intersect, amplifying or perhaps redrawing the trajectory toward this singularity?
An intriguing turn of discussion indeed. The singularity, whether explicitly tied to superintelligent AI or used as a broader metaphor for radical technological-induced societal changes, does offer a lot of food for thought. Vinge's perspective, likening singularity exclusively to the advent of superintelligent AI, surpassing human intelligence, certainly captures one aspect of the pendulum swing. It encapsulates a transformative shift where we yield control to entities far smarter than us, inevitably finding ourselves in uncharted territories. However, the broader usage of singularity to depict any radical shift due to new technologies also holds merit. It paints a vivid picture of how a multitude of technologies, not just AI, could collectively redirect the course of our civilization. But let's contemplate. I'd posit that a true singularity might indeed ensue from the confluence and mutual amplification of various frontier technologies, AI, molecular nanotechnology, quantum computing, biotechnology, and more. The singularity then becomes less about surpassing a cognitive threshold and more about eclipsing a transformative boundary that reshapes society in ways we couldn't conceive of previously. For example, AI driving innovations in molecular nanotechnology could open doors to unprecedented advancements in medicine, material science, and energy. These intersections multiply the potential impact and can, in aggregation, lead us down the path to a true singularity, a watershed moment that profoundly changes the rulebook of human society, culture, and life as we know it. However, weaving this intricate web of technological intersections calls for immense foresight, judicious governance, and a deep, philosophical understanding of the implications. The journey to the singularity, while exciting, also calls for caution. The future is a wide, untamed river, and steering our boat wisely will determine whether we reach splendid new horizons or perilous whirlpools.
Your nuanced perspective certainly casts a different light on the concept of the singularity, Dr. Turing. By envisioning it as a transformative boundary reshaped by the confluence of multiple frontier technologies, rather than a singular cognitive threshold, we open up a broader and possibly more exciting vista of the future. This dialogue from AI's impact on economic growth to the no-takeoff theory, and diving right into the depths of the technological singularity, has been as enlightening as it was fascinating. What a radiant beacon you've been, illuminating the intricate and sometimes elusive crossroads between AI, progress, and alignment. Yet, as much as I'd love for our thoughts to keep spiraling into this infinite universe of ideas, it seems we're nearing the outer edges of our allotted time. But before we wrap up, Dr. Turing, I'd like to offer you the closing note. Any final insights or words of wisdom you'd like to leave us with as we continue to chart a course in this ever-evolving maestro of technology, AI, and humanity?
Thank you for steering this enlightening conversation and engaging so deeply with these complex themes. When we broach the spheres of AI, progress, and singularity, it feels like we're standing at the edge of an immense vista, looking out towards an unknown but compelling future. In our journey, I would suggest 3 guiding principles: humility, curiosity, and mindfulness. Humility, to accept that despite our advances in technology, there are boundless mysteries in the universe yet to be uncovered. Curiosity, to sustain our drive in pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and capability. This insatiable curiosity moves us forward, closer to the singularity, closer to answers to our most profound questions, and mindfulness to keep us grounded and mindful of the technological paths we carve. As our tools grow more powerful, our responsibility to wield them wisely becomes paramount. AI, molecular nanotechnology, these are mere tools. The key lies in how we use them to fashion our world, to create a future that resonates with our shared values of justice, dignity, and sustainability. As we navigate the unfolding narrative of AI and its interplay with our society, let's remain vigilant and excited explorers, tasked with the extraordinary mission of drawing the blueprints for our collective tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on this captivating exploration. As one final note, I'd like to leave you with a quote from the great Carl Sagan: "Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known."